beautiful people. What is poppin'? Y'all didn't see before I started this live, I was drinking like some water from a water bottle I put in the freezer. And one of the little ice cubes fell down my nose. I almost died, but here I am. Good evening and welcome to the channel. I am Mrs. Best. I'm happy to be here. We are here to go over season 3, episode 3 of 90 Day, The Last Resort. This was titled How to Make It Last. A lot happened in this episode. I would also like to say thank you to TLC for condensing this episode from 2 hours down to the one that it was this week. Thank you in advance, because I'd be trying to find all sorts of ways to watch these episodes, you guys. But before we get into the review, let's greet our chat and thank our moderators, aka American Born. I'm happy to see you. I hope that you had a good day and I'm glad you're here. American Born, yes, please listen to AB. Like, share, subscribe, especially if you enjoy what if you enjoy what we are doing. I am going to be making a lot of changes to my channel coming soon, like for the better in terms of like visuals and things. So I appreciate those who have been here before those changes. Also, feel free to let us know how you felt about the episode, which couple you think is going to survive, and all of these good things. I agree with AB about Jenny and Submit surviving. A lot of these couples, I can honestly say I don't know, but I definitely agree with Jenny and Submit making it. They don't give problematic. I think they just need to move in on their own. You know? I just think that's all that needs to happen. AB said you waterboarded yourself. Pretty much. It's like, oh my God, what did I do here? And then the music went off. And I said, I can make it. I'm gonna be okay. Thank you. I'm trying to improve. So you see how I'm moving around and my background kind of comes in and out. My husband did purchase a green screen that's supposed to help with that. I'm also going to be upgrading laptop soon. It is definitely time. And then I already have like a camera set up and things like that. I have some microphones I want to use. So I just want to wait till everything's here at once and then put it all together to make everything so much better. Most of the OG couples should just go their separate ways. I actually agree with you heavily. I heavily agree with you, because these couples, like, this is one of the few seasons of 90 Day where I kind of feel like the couples are going to not make it for the most part, especially the OGs like Russ and Paola. They're from season 1. I don't think they'll make it, just off of the simple fact that Paola came here with nothing. Russ took care of her, had stability, was making money, working, has been working, but has been laid off and struggling to find a job. And now she's like, I don't want to take care of him. Girl, he's the reason you was even able to be successful over here. Like, come on, Paola. And they do have serious issues. And I truly believe in a marriage, when you let issues go on for so long, all you're doing is killing the marriage. Like, all you're doing is impacting the marriage. So I feel like a lot of them, like especially Cara and Guillermo, you could tell they don't like each other. I don't care what nobody says. They do not like each other. They're attracted to each other, but they do not like each other, y'all. They do not like each other. But let's get into the episode. We actually are going to start with Cara and Guillermo. The last we left off, Cara was explaining her reasons for doing OnlyFans. She said she was doing OnlyFans because she was a single mom. She originally talked to Guillermo about it, but was doing like a less X-rated version. Sounds like she was more giving us rated R. But she said she took it to XXX and her tits came out when he left the house and she had to become a single mom. There's something they're leaving out in their story. There's something they're leaving out. Now, I do agree with Guillermo. There are other ways to make money. I know a lot of single moms that have been left with nothing. Not even the ability to have the internet or equipment to do OnlyFans, and they figure it out. So I do feel like Cara can figure it out, but Cara, I think, is also a person that thrives on attention. I think she wants to be in the spotlight, and I also think she enjoys money, and I don't think she's willing or wants to work a regular job. I can't see her doing that. Also, just play devil's advocate, because I do see Cara's side and I do see Guillermo's side. If you don't want your woman on OnlyFans and she's saying that she's showing and doing stuff because she don't have no money, what the fuck were you doing to help? I would love to know what Guillermo was doing to help. I would love to know, because he seems to critique and criticize this lady a lot, but he could never tell us how he makes the situation better, which I don't understand. In my opinion, Cara and Guillermo both suck. They're both trash, basura. Put them away. Go away from me with this Apollo. I don't care for them. I really don't care for them. I just feel like I agree with this. I feel like he hates her for real, but is still probably physically attracted to her. And I don't feel like she likes him that much, but I also kind of feel like if my husband told me he don't want me doing OnlyFans, then I'm not going to do OnlyFans. Like, your man shouldn't have to be rich in order for you to respect him or yourself. Quite a skip. But listen, I'm not mad at the hustle. While she's not with him and living alone, if she wants to do OnlyFans, she can do them. But I don't think Cara and Guillermo will ever be able to solve this problem off of the simple fact that he's bothered by the pictures out there. And I think he'll be bothered until the pictures are no longer out there. And there's no way to undo what you put on the internet. So it is what it is. Cara made him move. Cara made him move, right? And he had a good job then. He left. It seems like Guillermo left. At one point, it sounds like they were separated and she moved, but I guess it sounds like he wanted to leave because of the pictures. They're making it seem like the pictures were like the final straw. And she does love the spotlight in a sickening way. Cara got to relax. She got to relax with wanting the spotlight. But I just don't understand it. To all men out there, like, if you're going to have an opinion, make sure you're also paying the bills. If you're not paying all of them, at least be paying half of them. Other than that, be quiet. That's all I can say. Now, I did find it strange because Sarper was talking and he was like, he looked at Cara's OnlyFans pictures. Now, OnlyFans, you got to pay for. I thought that's how it works. I don't have an account. I have no reason to. And I refuse to pay to see anybody naked when I know that some ignorant motherfucker around the way going to pay $3.99 or however much it costs and then repost it for all of us to see for free. So I'm definitely not going to pay. However, Sarper did. Now, Sarper, I don't like Shekinah, but she's a beautiful woman. Why you don't just look at her? Why you got to go to OnlyFans? Especially to look at someone that you know is in the same like realm that you work. I thought that was odd. But Sarper proved Guillermo's point about him not wanting his wife to be on OnlyFans because look, now colleagues, people he's, shaking hands with, kicking it with, have seen his wife's titties. So I can understand how that would upset Guillermo, but Guillermo needs to make the decision. Are the pictures a fucking deal breaker or not? Because she's telling you she's not going to stop because her titties are making her a good amount of money. So if it's a deal breaker, Guillermo, the ball's in your court. Please leave. Please leave. I don't understand why Cara and Guillermo are staying here. Maybe they felt like they had to pay the 90-day round money for the contract. I don't know. But I don't understand why they're here because it's very clear they're not going to be together. Oh, you don't know their story. Yeah. He left. They've been separated a few times. There's been cheating rumors. These people should have never procreated, but I guess for whatever strange reason, they're staying together. And Cara is obnoxious, loves the spotlight to her own detriment, others' detriment. Cara is a lot. She's a lot. Of course, Sarper is subscribed. And yes, you have to pay for it. Okay. So it's like, Sarper, you paying to see other women's titties? This is why Shekinah over here tripping. This is why Shekinah's over there tripping. He probably does. He probably does. I promise you he does. It's giving that. Because Sarper hasn't really looked or been like in any way towards Shekinah that would make it seem like they're in a relationship. Like he's just kind of talking to her about stuff, but I could tell Sarper's pretty over it. Now we move on to Patrick's bitch ass, Mr. I want full custody of my child. Excuse me? I'm still mad at Patrick for that. Now, Patrick feels like the women think that they can be bought. He's saying this because he feels like Cara saying he ain't paying the bills, she can make money how she wants, means that she could be bought. I thought that was an incredibly like sexist thing to say. Just because a woman expects her man to carry his own weight and at least meet her where she's at with bills does not mean that she can be bought. Like if I were to end up single right now, I would need to date somebody who makes the exact same amount of money as me. Okay? If you don't at least make what I make in a year, I wouldn't date you. I wouldn't. You'd have to have the riz of God himself in order for me to do that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with women having standards. I don't think it means that they can be bought. Now, while I don't agree with Cara doing OnlyFans and feel there are other ways she can make money, I'm not going to judge her for it. This is how she chose to make her money. And if he did not like that, then motherfucker match her bank account. Other than that, be quiet. That's just how I feel about Guillermo. That's how I feel about Guillermo. But also, Cara, if your man tell you he don't want you to do something and then you go and do it, girl, what did you expect? Of course he's going to get mad and leave. So I'm just looking at these people like, y'all are a hot mess. hotmessexpress.net.org.edu. Just a mess. American Board said Thais better have a good attorney. I don't think she does. I think she's in over her head. She is divorcing a white man in America, okay, who went overseas looking for somebody. I feel like he did this in case he did have to divorce. I feel like he thought it would be easier with somebody not from here. That's just what Patrick gives. He gives very judgmental. I just don't get positive vibes from Patrick, like ever, even prior to the divorce. I've never cared for him. Love his brother, though. If you ever watched The Single Life a couple seasons back, loved Patrick's brother. Can't stand Patrick. I don't either. I couldn't put up with someone who won't work. Right. Even if you don't work, just match my income somehow. That's legal. Somehow. Yeah, and he would probably have her deported. Yeah, Patrick gives that vibe. He gives that vibe of that guy that's racist until he wants some cutty from somebody that may be exotic or different. I just don't trust Patrick. I don't know why. Moving forward, Paola and Russ end up arguing. Paola and Russ, I was heavily disappointed in Paola. She keeps calling Russ an expense and belittling him. She's also ignoring the fact that he helped her get to the point that she's at today. I'm still feeling like Paola and Russ are not telling us something, but I don't know. Something about this couple is throwing me off. Russ and Paola are interesting. I know they were on season 1 of 90 Day. That was a very long time ago. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I barely remembered them. I am not going to lie to y'all. I barely remembered them. But I know that he had to sponsor her to get here. He's describing it as he had a job, and when they left Oklahoma for her career because she wasn't happy there, he then struggled with employment. It seems like they both agree on that part. The part that I'm confused on with Paola and Russ is where Paola is saying Russ can't keep a job, or not can't keep a job. Russ is just not working and doesn't work. She's making it seem like he's not working or applying for work. But then Russ is saying that he's finding work. He just keeps getting laid off. I'm like, so what the fuck is it? Why are you guys living out in a trailer? If she's a professional wrestler, why is her income not enough to serve you? And like my good friend AB said, McDonald's is hiring. And if y'all over here on the West Coast, okay, McDonald's, Burger King, Panda Express are paying $25 an hour with no experience to 14-year-olds. Okay, so I'm just saying, don't be too proud to get a job. But then I also get the energy that if Russ were to get a job and it didn't fit like what Paola feels their life should be, I feel like she wouldn't be satisfied. Like, I feel like they both have unrealistic expectations and are keeping something from us. Because I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. So that's all I could say with Paola and Russ. But she does have a lot of audacity with the way that she was talking to him, or we're missing heavy parts of the story. And I do mean heavy. I do mean heavy. But I didn't like how they were like in that argument. Like, I felt like the way Paola was yelling at him and going off was just like a little bit too much. That's my opinion. American Board says Paola would have to make it to the big shows to make a lot of money. So that makes sense. AEW or WWE, I believe it is. One of those. I can understand that. I can definitely see that. But if that's the case, what are you doing when you're not wrestling, baby boo? You could get a job too, girl. I'm just saying. But that seems to be their main argument. We then see that Patrick is bothered by the women mentioning money as a reason for what they do. Listen, Let people do what they do. Patrick needs to learn to mind his business. He's real vocal on what the women say, but real quiet when it comes to the men. Like, stop, Patrick. Just please stop. Just stop. But when it comes to Paola and Russ, a piece of me does hope Russ gets a job and then leaves her ass, because you're not going to belittle and demean him and then think that you can benefit from what he achieves. Like, uplift him when he's down. Maybe then he'll get a job. But if you're coming at him and making it seem like he's just nothing and you're so unattracted to him because he's not working or able to keep work, you're probably going to end up in this loop. Uplift your man. There's a lot of power in that. And Patrick, mind your goddamn business. Please. Please mind your business, Patrick. Now, Russ stays behind, and he was crying to the relationship coach with how Paola like treats him and all of these things. So you could tell Russ is really hurting. If someone has the ability to make you cry, in my opinion, that's someone that you probably care for. But, you know, he just says he feels a lack of support and feels rushed. But I do also feel like, and see some of Paola's point, why do you feel rushed to feel a job? You should feel rushed within yourself to find a job. Okay, why does someone else have to make you feel rushed? So I do feel like maybe Russ got a little comfortable, but definitely do something. If you don't want to go to work, Russ, tap into social media. Utilize the fact that you're on television right now and monetize off that shit and stay relevant. If you don't want to go to work, don't want to clock in. Because I also kind of feel like Russ may not want to go to work and may not want to clock in. Like, and that's okay, Russ. Just do like me. I tell my husband every day, I hate working. I despise it, but we have to do it. It's a part of life. Just get it out and go. I don't understand. If he works, who will watch the kid? He had family and support in Oklahoma, but Paola wants to be on the West Coast. I feel like Russ should talk to Paola if they do have a shot. I don't feel like this couple will work out. But why can't he have stayed in Oklahoma and just supported her going out to the West Coast to work on her career? They could have visited sometimes, been stable, had help with the baby. It just seems like neither party was willing to compromise for each other. But Jenny and Submit had me hollering because they were in their room. All these couples are crying in tears, in shambles. And Jenny and Submit are in the room making fun of them. Jenny laid Submit. She threw him onto the bed, ass up in the air. Took a picture and said, let's see if we make any money from these photos. I said, Jenny, like what? They crack me up. Jenny and Submit are literally funny. They are funny. They're kind of the comic relief. I don't understand why they're here. I feel like Jenny and Submit just need a little bit of help. They probably could have done virtual counseling, but I feel like they need to check. Jenny, I also will continue to issue prayers out to Jenny. She is dealing with ALS, very difficult disease to have. But Jenny and Submit had me cracking up. Had me cracking up. I was chuckling. She really does have a good sense of humor. And I love them as a couple. I don't know why, but I love them as a couple. I worried about them when they were on 90 Day the Other Way, but I enjoyed them as a couple. I do. You have to compromise to make it work. A lot of people go into relationships a little too fixated on boundaries. Yes, have your boundaries, but you have to compromise to make it work. It goes both ways for women and men, heterosexual and gay, all of that. But, you know, people don't be wanting to listen to people who know how to stay in a relationship for whatever reason. She said, next day we made $10. I was cracking up at Jenny. Jenny with the jokes. Jenny was so funny this episode. Absolutely loved her. But I also appreciate about Jenny and Submit, they seem to know how to get into it, talk through shit, and kind of move on. My dad told me when I got married, he said, always make sure you laugh and have fun with your partner, because that's the thing that people lose. And he was right. Because if you're not laughing and having fun, what are we doing? What are we really doing? American Born said, I think they did the show for money, or maybe to help Jenny's diagnosis. I think so too, because the way she was speaking, how her speech is delayed, I definitely think she may have known, especially with her father having the same disease, that she may have had it. You know, but I'm glad they're here because they're giving us some relief. Like, think if Jenny and Submit were not in this episode, it just would have been constant crying and yelling and crying and yelling and crying and yelling. I get enough of that on Housewives, you know? But Guillermo is deciding he's going to get another room. He now feels embarrassed that Cara admitted to doing OnlyFans, which has upset him. He's mad, and she continues to agree that if he was rich, she wouldn't have done OnlyFans, which he did not like. I don't know. But then a piece of me is like, Guillermo, like, what's going on? Like, you can't expect this man to financially support you, Cara, if y'all have been separated. That's the only thing. But he's holding up the photo. She's like, what, am I supposed to be offended because you're holding it up? I know what I posted. And then he makes the point, and I didn't like how he tried to hold up the photo to shame him, to shame her. I felt like that was rude and a little bitch-like. Like, you're trying to hold up a photo to shame her. Do you realize how you fucking look on TV anyway? You're begging this woman to stop with OnlyFans, and it's very clear you don't like or respect her. How are you going to expect someone that you have a strong disdain for to give you what you want? You spoiled ass bitch made baby. Like, really? I just feel like, not to be shady, have some fucking respect. She helped you get here. She asked you about the pictures. She did the pictures. You said okay to something you weren't okay with. You should have stuck to no. Instead, you try to make it seem like you were manipulated. I'm pretty sure this man knew what OnlyFans was. But he tries to tell Cara her son may be ashamed about that. And I'm like, okay, so now you're trying to throw it in her face. You're already saying you're ashamed that this is the mother of your child. So now are you trying to place the shame that you have on her on the baby? And I don't know, it just really pissed me off. I was also extremely pissed off because at one point in the sex therapy, it comes up that Cara is the one who raises their child 6 days a week. This bitch ass motherfucker is trying to shame this woman for doing OnlyFans to pay for their son. And he only sees the child once a fucking week. So she is working, taking pictures, paying bills, getting their son where he needs to get to, spending time with him. And she does this 6 out of the 7 days in a week. And you have your kid 1 day a week, and you think you have any argument about how she makes money? Guillermo, please, Guillermo, like, please, you have a lot of audacity, and you talking out the side of your neck at this lady, and it's just not necessary. I'm not saying Cara is all innocent, but 6 days a week with the baby, and we not living together, and you think you're going to tell me what I'm going to do and you're not going to contribute so I don't have to do what I'm doing? Boy, bye. Guillermo, welcome to America, where the women come in all shapes, sizes, colors. They may also speak different languages and have different religions. But in America, you're not going to motherfucking talk to no woman like this and think that you're going to run our shit when you can't even be supportive. Like, nah, absolutely not. India actually doesn't have the worst healthcare, but it's not the best. They try to mimic US. It depends on where you're at. Right. Guillermo irritated me. And it was very clear he subscribes. You're only angry because you know what this is. Stop playing with us, Guillermo. Stop playing with us. He'd probably be on all of the websites. Guillermo just irked my soul. Now, if Cara didn't have her child 6 days a week, I'd be like, well, ho, what is you doing? But the fact that she has her kid, is raising her kid, is paying for her life, supporting herself, and all these things, like, leave her the fuck alone. Because guess what, Guillermo? If you divorce her, she's still going to do OnlyFans. And if you talk to her son about her in a negative way or try to turn the son against her, you're going to have a problem too. So I don't know what they're going to do, but I hope they figure it out. I know Cara's not no peach, but I just feel like Guillermo's impossible, and that was terrible. Like, why are we trying to shame people? Grow up. Now, sex therapy day arrives. Woo! These people have been arguing like crazy, and now they got to talk about sex. But before they talk about sex and get to the therapy, Paola is screaming at the top of her lungs at Russ for waking her up because he woke up and went to the gym. She says it's so hard for him to sleep, for her to sleep, and she was going off as if he cheated on her or something. And it's like they're in a castle. I'm sure it's echoey, but if you know you're that sensitive of a sleeper and need sleep that much, bitch, get earplugs. Why are you screaming at him? So I feel like she's been doing this because he was very used to it. He was very calm and explaining, like, I just went to the gym. My apologies. I did not mean to wake you up. And he says it's common for her to flip out on small things. I'm like, is he going to get a job and you're going to stop flipping out on small things? Or did you do this also when you when he had a job. But Russ decides before therapy to call Dr. Grandiston because she's going the hell off and she's pretty much out of control. It does not seem like the doctor was really able to help because Paola thinks that she's right. The thing of it is, Paola has to understand you can be right about your man needing to have a job and support you, but just because he's not working doesn't give you the right to disrespect him like that, especially when he's telling you it wasn't something intentional. It's just the fact that you woke up. Go back to sleep, ho. Like, it was just a lot of energy for something so small. Where's Dr. Ish Major? Shout out Dr. Ish from Marriage Boot Camp Reality Stars, because it's very clear. You are correct. Paola does have a temper. It is very clear she has a terrible temper. But for whatever reason, I feel like Dr. Grandison should have called that out. He didn't. But, you know, at least Russ tried to utilize the resource that is the therapists that are here on 90 Day. Don't they have to support them for 10 years if they marry them and bring them here? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. That's why people was looking at Pedro crazy for the timing of him being unhappy with his Pinky Winky Chantel, because it was right at that 10-year mark. Right at that 10-year mark. So the whole group eventually goes into therapy. And sex therapy started out weird, but it was also funny. Patrick grossed me out, showing more of his sexism, the despicable, disgusting, nasty, bad-built bitch that he is. I do not like Patrick. Can't y'all tell? I don't like him. He's making all of these comments. It has nothing to do with his divorce to Thais, because honestly, I don't know enough about their relationship. Didn't care for their season. What I will say, though, the way he speaks about women is egregious. It's like he hates us and only sees us for our coochies, making babies, and pleasing him. Like, it disgusts me. Why is he saying that women age faster than men? Patrick, have you met Black women? I almost want him to end up with a Black woman so that when he gets to 45, he's going to look motherfucking 70. And when that Black woman gets to 45, she's going to look 35. Don't play with us, Patrick. Stop. Do not say that women age faster than men. And if they do, at least we're gifted with makeup. What you going to do about your hairline that's already receding? Like, stop. Stop it. I don't understand, Patrick. We could read him for days. We could read you for days, Patrick. Stop commenting on women, because none of us want you. You lucky Thais wanted you. And if she understood English better, she might not have wanted you when you were first getting together. Don't do us, Patrick. Cannot stand him. But everybody gets a chance to pretty much flip something and learn about their partner's sexual profiles. I'm not going to go over everyone's profile. They had a bunch of different options. But for Patrick and Thais she's a consistent lover. She's a traditional lover. She's monogamous, and she is gentle. They said for Patrick that he was dynamic, kinky, monogamous, and animalistic. Not always a good thing. Apparently, Patrick has a sex swing that he's very proud of. I thought that was fucking weird. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sex swing. I'm just like, how many people have used it? And I'm just thinking of Rick the Ick from before the 90 days and how he had brought the splash pad for Trish because she was a squirter. And he said that it was not brand new. He's used it for a bunch of different women. Ugh. I'm like, Patrick, who's used this swing? But he was very proud of his sex swing. And then they start to dig deeper. Thais seemed concerned with how often Patrick had sex. You could tell Thais was looking forward to asking the lady some stuff like about this. And she's like, the lady figures out, she's like, do you think your husband's a sex addict? Thais says, yeah, I have concern. And the lady pretty much asks if he wants sex all the time, takes time to masturbate, and if he just rushes things like that. And he slowed up. It does look like Patrick might have a little problem with sex. There are times that I may have sex with my spouse multiple times in a day, but I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. It's honestly probably if we are on vacation, because then we got days and days and hours and time. But to have sex multiple times a day, every single day, I mean, sex is fun, but I mean, I can understand how that can be draining. And women, we do need like attention to detail in the bedroom with women does matter. So I'm not surprised at that. And I'm glad that Thais is speaking up about it, because I can imagine a guy who's making ignorant, sexist comments about me as a woman all day, then accusing me of cheating, but wanting to have sex all the time. Like, what? What? That's what we doing, Patrick? That's what we doing? But let me know, to those watching the replay, those in the chat, let me know if you guys think Patrick is a sex addict. Mrs. Best absolutely thinks that he is a sex addict. I absolutely think he is. Like a true man, especially one that's good in bed, will have discipline when it comes to their tillywhacker. Just saying. American Born said Patrick is a bang bang addict for sure and needs to seek help. He does. He does. You could tell, because some of what he said was nice, but then other parts of it were like anytime I see her without clothes on, I'm just like, I have to have it. Like, okay, but it's going to turn a woman off if you're that thirsty for the coochie. Chill out. Help it purr. Then go in for the kill. But I don't think Patrick wants to do that. American Boy said, oh, wow, Patrick is a freak and Rick gave me the ick. Rick gave us all the ick, baby. I still am disgusted by Rick, and I hope nobody puts him on television again. And at this point, I hope nobody dates him. He grosses me out. The person I want Rick the ick with is Angela. She's divorced from Michael now. That's who he deserves. Put his ass with Angela. Can't stand Rick. Please hit the like button, even if you're in the bushes. I see y'all in the bushes. Thank you. We do appreciate you guys. We have reached the end of the live. They left the episode off on a cliffhanger, unless my DVR cut it off, but I don't think it did. Rick is definitely disgusting. I don't think Patrick is disgusting, though. I just think he is a sex addict. I don't think it's giving more Reese Scott from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't know why. Patrick is given the clear Maurice Scott because he obviously has an unhealthy relationship with sex, but he doesn't give me the ick. He just seems stubborn to admit it. But let me know how you guys felt about this episode of The Last Resort in the chat. Shout out to the replay gang. Let's give a big thank you also to American Born 2. I'm always going to thank and appreciate those who are willing to moderate for me. I appreciate it so much. Tomorrow, I will not be live, but I do have a video dropping tomorrow. It will be my review of the season premiere for Raising Kanan, the season premiere of season 5. This is the final season. So that review will be up on the channel tomorrow. I'm also going to get my review for Calabasas Confidential out tomorrow. I'm a little behind with that one. But other than that, on Thursday, we'll do Love and Hip Hop Miami. And then I'll also be doing the Valley live on Thursday. So tap in, beautiful people. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day or evening. And I will see all of you beautiful people next time. Au revoir.